Not to be dramatic, but I'm unironically having the best day of my entire life. And it's because of this book, Dungeons and Drama. First of all, we just take a moment for the cover, because that's what drew me into this book. And let me tell you, it's not disappointing. This is probably the least disappointing thing that I've ever seen in my life. I started it today. Look how far I am. I'm on page 172, and I'm gonna finish this book tonight. Like, I'm obsessed. It's so good. It's so nerdy, and I've never read a very nerdy romance before, and it's now my new favorite thing, and I can't believe I've gone this long without doing so. It's about our main character, Riley, who doesn't play any sort of game. She's not into Dungeons and Dragons, none of that stuff, but she loves musical theater. Green flag number one, because I love musical theater. The first page, they start talking about Waitress, the musical by Sarah Bareilles. I was hooked. I was already hooked. She has to work at her dad's game store, and he specializes in selling like board games, card games, D&D related items. And our love interest is Nathan Wheeler, who is one of the employees at her dad's store, and also one of the members of the D&D campaign that meets every Friday at her dad's store. So I started listening to this at like noon today, and it's like 6 o'clock now, and I'm gonna finish this before I go to sleep tonight. Do I have the audiobook and the ebook checked out on Libby right now? Yes. Did I go to the library to get the physical copy anyways, just so that I could stare at the beautiful cover? Also yes. Pokemon is also discussed in this book, so I thought it was fitting to use my holographic Pokemon bookmark. I'm now so beyond excited for the second book, Dating and Dragons, to come out in January, which is so close. It's so close. Which is simultaneously the best news and the worst news ever. Best news because I'm going to be able to read another book really soon. Worst news because I'm going to consume these within a month of each other, and then I'm not going to have any more of them until whenever the author writes a new book. Another update, I did check out Conversations with Friends from the library today as well, just because I saw it like on the shelf when I walked in there. I didn't plan on getting it from the library. Me and Bestie Afsana are doing a buddy read of this. It's going to be a reread for me, and it's her first time reading it, so I'm so excited because this is my favorite Sally Rooney novel. So I'm just super excited to reread this. I have the ebook checked out on Libby, but because it was just staring at me like right as soon as I walked in the library, I figured like, why not just take this home too? Is there anything else? Still working through Orbital by Samantha Harvey. So I'll see you guys in the next update, probably when I finish with this book. Blair? Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I am unwell. Not physically, but emotionally, I'm all sorts of torn up inside. Oh goodness. So I haven't updated you in 24 hours, and in that time I started and finished a new book. This is the most reading I've done in like a singular week, I think, in my entire life. So I started and finished Dungeons and Drama on Monday, and then on Tuesday I read like the tiniest bit of Conversations with Friends, literally like one page, and then I wanted to listen to something before I went to sleep, something like easy to listen to, because right now my audiobook is Orbital, and that one is like so like rich and luxurious. I want to give it my full attention, so it's not something I want to listen to before bed. So I was just kind of scrolling through Libby, and I checked out this book, this goddamn book, We Used to Live Here. And this is a horror thriller psychological suspense novel. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea to listen to before bed, because I'm such a wimp. Like, I don't do well with anything scary at all. Like, I don't watch scary movies or scary shows, really. I love The Walking Dead, but that's an exception because I've been watching it since I was a child, so it doesn't scare me. I started this book last night, and then I just finished it like an hour ago. This is not normal reading for me. I never read books this quickly, so I don't know, beats me. But I just need to talk about this book. I'm in a state of shock. I immediately want to do a reread, which is how I felt with Dungeons and Drama too, which is kind of funny. Dungeons and Drama I wanted to reread because I loved it so much. I have some issues that I want to discuss about that book later. I'm not ready to do it yet because it just makes me so sad. But for We Used to Live Here, I want to do a reread because I want to put the mystery together, but I just don't think I'll be able to solve it. That might just be a lost cause. Basically, a quick synopsis of this book. Our main character gets a knock on the door one night and there's this family there. It was giving major Us vibes by Jordan Peele. If you've seen that movie, that's what intrigued me about this book, because like the first page, this random family is on her doorstep and the father is there like, I used to live in this house, I want to give my family a little tour if you'll let us in. And everything in her gut is saying like, do not let these people in, don't let them in. Once you let them in, they're never gonna leave, like something bad's gonna happen. But eventually she lets them in, and then the story just follows from there. Obviously, bad things happen, weird things happen. I don't even know what happened. It was very like genre bendy. It was nothing like what I expected to happen, but I thought it was fantastic. It's definitely the best thriller I've ever read. I don't read many thrillers, mystery, horror novels anyways. This one was a satisfying end, but also infuriating, confusing, crazy, weird, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels expensive. It feels like a very thoughtful end. I've been reading so many like Reddit posts about this book, just trying to find if anybody else has made more sense of it than I have. A lot of people compare it online to House of Leaves, which is another like horror, psychological thriller sort of novel. I also saw some inspiration from The Haunting of Hill House in there. I think any sort of spooky novel that's set in like an older, malevolent feeling house is gonna have a little bit of Shirley Jackson in there. And it just feels really good that I have already read Hill House now, because I saw just like the influences of it on this work. So yeah, still recovering from that. If you like scary stories, definitely listen to it or read it. I listened to the audiobook mostly and like read along at some points, but it was a wild, wild ride. Oh, at one point I was listening to it in my car. It's been giving me anxiety all day. Like I've been so nervous and so jumpy all day. I finished up a chapter. I got out of my car, I locked it, I'm walking into my house, and then on the street, it's pitch black. Somebody screams in my face, but then there was nobody in front of me. And so I screamed and I start running the other way. And then I hear somebody go, sorry, behind my shoulder. I turn around and somebody's like leaning out of their window of their apartment building, and it's like some girl is there and she's like, oh, sorry, I thought you were my sister. I was just like trying to prank you. And I was like, so that was poor timing, because I had literally just finished up a very unsettling chapter. I get out of my car and somebody screams in my face. I feel like there's a ghost. So yeah, weird night. I'll probably just keep reading like Reddit posts and theories about this book, because it's just going to consume me for a little bit, and I'm just going to allow that to happen. But after that, I don't know what I'm going to read. I don't know if I'll read it all tonight. I've been reading so much for the past couple of days, so that's just crazy to me. But if I do read anything tonight, I'll probably read a little bit of Conversations with Friends. So yeah, that's my update. Hey guys, I just took a shower. It's been a few days. It's now Sunday. I got really sick. I'm honestly still pretty sick right now, but I just felt like giving a little check-in. I made a little progress in Conversations with Friends. I'm like 2 or 3 chapters into that. Been texting Afsana about my thoughts and annotating it from like a writing perspective of seeing what it is that Sally Rooney does to make her characters so engaging for me, to hopefully integrate that into my own writing. I feel like I sound really weird because I'm so stuffy right now. I had a really chill, relaxing day because I haven't been feeling well. I just watched Pretty Little Liars for hours and bullet journaled. None of the books that I'm currently reading are really speaking to me right now. I'm just not super interested in anything. Been wanting to start something new. I guess I am really enjoying this one new book that I started that I don't think I have mentioned to you, called The Other Merlin. Can't remember the author's name. It's a YA Arthurian retelling. It's about the daughter of Merlin the Wizard. She pretends to be a boy at the royal court so she can be trained as a wizard, and she has like a romance with Prince Arthur before he becomes King Arthur. And I'm actually really enjoying it. The banter is really good. I'll give you a little journaling update. I've done a few spreads. We got this. Oh god, the yellow looks crazy. I think I'm going to like do something about this and change the yellow, because I really don't like how that came out. I did like a 2025 title page sort of thing with these jellyfish stickers. My bosses are genuinely like the kindest, most thoughtful humans ever, and They got me like a ton of stickers for Christmas and like a bunch of other really sweet things. So thank you guys. I know you're watching, so hey. And this is what took up pretty much my entire evening, is my bookshelf spread. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out. My only thing I don't love is the colors I chose for this clock, but other than that, I think it was pretty good. And I did also start, I made this last night. This is going to be a classics tracker. I thought, like penguin black spines, so I thought that like I could incorporate penguins into the classics tracking, and then I'll put some boxes here and like some lines to keep track of the classics I read next year. Oh, another update. I bought a desk and a matching chair, which I'm sitting in right now. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I found it on Facebook Marketplace literally yesterday and just messaged the person, and she came over like an hour later with her husband, and her husband and my boyfriend like brought it up the stairs together, and I'm so happy. I love it. It's genuinely such a giant mess right now, but I will show it to you anyways. So here is the new desk. Let me back up so you can see it better. It's so freaking gorgeous and giant. There's the legs. It's like real wood and super intricately designed. And it's just a ton of space, because I had another desk before that was like really itty bitty, and I wasn't able to kind of like spread out my little tentacles and really do my journaling thing, so I never really ended up using it. So I knew that whatever next desk that I got, I needed it to be bigger to accommodate for all that stuff. So this is totally big enough. It's giant. It takes up so much of the room. Like, it's not a big room. I've got laundry I'm folding on the couch, but yeah, the desk takes up I guess it doesn't look so crazy on camera, but it takes up quite a bit of the room. So yeah, I found it on Facebook yesterday for $125 for both pieces, which was just a steal. The only thing was, it was really a bitch to bring upstairs. We have like a really thin stairway to get up to our apartment, so it was an ordeal to get this up here. But now that it's done, I'm so obsessed with it. I'm so happy to have it. I've been sitting here really all night. So it's just been so fun. It's so nice to just kind of like have a space to do my like little hobbies, because I do a lot of my hobbies in bed because I don't have a desk, or on the couch sometimes, or on the floor. This has been awesome. Guys, we have some mildly intimidating news. My God, I don't want to move the camera, so I'm just gonna pick this up. My Way of Kings audiobook is in. Don't know if you saw it, but this audiobook is 45 hours. 45. But I did place it like earlier this week. I thought it would take a lot longer to come in. I feel like I just gotta put it on like deliver later, because I just went to the library today. Like, you just saw all of those clips, and I just picked up a million books. So I'm like so excited for those. The Way of Kings just doesn't even sound like something I care to read right now. So I think we're just gonna put it to like deliver after, okay, let's say a month, 30 days. I'll receive it on January 25th or later. I think that's good. I'm now 79% through Orbital by Samantha Harvey. I've got like an hour left in the audiobook, so I thought I could probably just put that on and maybe do some bullet journaling for the next hour. You did already see all the library books that I picked up, but you know, I haven't done a library book haul in a little while, so I'm gonna show you them. Oh, no. I got this, The Other Merlin. Here's the second book, which is The Future King. I'm already on chapter 15 of this book. This copy seems like it has never been read before. It's in like perfect condition, which is kind of sad that like nobody checked this out. I don't know, I could be wrong. Yeah, the back of it, totally clean, but they don't really like write back here anymore when you pick out books, so that could mean nothing. So I picked up the first and second book because I am really enjoying the first one, and I figured if I do still really love it by the end of it, then I'd probably want to start the second one. So I took the second one just for giggles. This also feels like nobody has checked it out. They feel brand new. And I realized that this book is blurbed by Carrie Maniscalco. She wrote the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which I read the first book of in 2023 at the beginning of that year. So it's been almost 2 years, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't like super special, and I didn't continue with the series. But I don't know, I've just been thinking about YA gothic romances. I do think I like that genre more than I'm giving it credit. So I picked up Hunting Prince Dracula, which is the second book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is by Carrie Maniscalco, because I was thinking about her from seeing her on Merlin. So have this too. I really like the characters in this series. Interested to pick this up again. Don't know when that'll happen. Then I got this little wintry looking romance book called A December to Remember by Jenny Bayliss. I've never heard of this book. I have heard of her other book, The 12 Dates of Christmas, and she also wrote Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. Oh, Abby Jimenez blurbed this. I don't know if this is just like wintry or if it's specifically Christmassy, but honestly, I don't care. Even though Christmas has passed, I'm not deterred by it. Then we have Pretty Little Liars. This is the newer covers. It's so funny. This girl's top knot, it looks like a pineapple. I've been rewatching the show, which is why I got the season 5 DVD or set of DVDs, because there's like 6 different DVDs in here. Because I've been watching it on Hulu, but there's like so many ads. Every episode's like 40 minutes, but then there's like 10 to 15 minutes of ads. So pretty much every 4 episodes, I'm watching almost an hour's worth of ads. And like when the ads come on, I mute it and open up a different tab on my computer and just like do random stuff. But it's just such a waste of time. So I got the DVDs. I'm pretty sure I have like a DVD player that plugs into my computer. God, I hope I didn't donate it. Let me go look for that right now, actually. I have it. So yes, I have this little DVD thing that's got a USB port, and then I can plug it into my computer. So might watch a couple episodes tonight. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Ooh, I can put it in my little drawer on my desk. I love Pretty Little Liars. I watched it when I was a kid, like when it was coming out episodically. When did Pretty Little Liars air? It aired in 2010. So it started when I was 9, so I was at least 9 when I was watching it. Yeah, it's just a comfort show, and I rewatch it every now and then. So, rewatching it right now. And then I got Heartstopper books 1 and 2. I've already read these also like 2 years ago, and I thought they were just okay, but for some reason I've been like thinking about them a lot lately, and I want to try them again. I do remember that it was really, really cute, and then I think I just like fell off of it, and I don't remember why. So gonna give that another shot. And then I found this graphic novel called The Gulf. It's honestly really long. I just really liked the art style. This little girl's nose, I saw it from across the room, and I thought it was so cute. Don't ask me why, I just thought she looked so adorable. Yeah, I really like the art style of this. It says, staring down the final days of high school, a group of friends runs away from home to join a remote island commune in this coming-of-age road trip adventure. And it's so cute. And we still have Iron Gold. I've yet to crack this open. I'm scared of the commitment because, gosh, It's so big. And then our final stack, we have the second Veronica Speedwell book, A Perilous Undertaking. I read A Curious Beginning, which is the first book in the series at the beginning of this year. I thought it was just okay, but I filmed my 2024 book wrap-up video yesterday or the day before. It just made me think of the series again, and I did really like the characters, even though I kind of hated the mystery in this, so I'm thinking to give this another chance. So that might happen. And this is one of the books that I started recently. I don't know if I've told you about this yet. It's A Little History of the World by E.H. Gombrich. This is a children's history book. I saw this video by, what's her name? Anna Wallace Johnson. She made this like best nonfiction books of the year video, but she just like made nonfiction sound like so much fun. And the way she described this was good for people who feel like they don't know as much as they'd like to know about history and just like want to be a little bit more informed, but in a not intimidating way. So because it's for kids, it's not like super daunting to pick up. And it's actually, I've read the first like 4 chapters, and it reads like very story-like. Like the first chapter is called Once Upon a Time, and it's about the dinosaurs. It's also illustrated, which is pretty cute. And that's why I picked up the physical version, because I've been reading it digitally and I wanted to see the illustrations. This one's The Greatest Inventors of All Time, and this was talking about like cavemen. And then The Land by the Nile, I was talking about the pyramids in Egypt. Chapter 5 that I'm going to start is The One and Only God. I really loved the dedication in this as well. It's so pretty. The introduction was written by his grandson. So he was talking about how his grandfather wrote this book, and he had like a 6-week deadline to write this book. So he wrote 1 chapter every single day. He like researched it based on books in his family's home in the morning, and then went to the library and used books there at night, and then wrote the chapter every evening. And then the next day he was like courting his wife at the time. So every day he would bring her a new chapter when they would take like a walk through these gardens, and he would read it to her and get her input. So the dedication is for her, for Ilse. It's in German. For Ilse. Wie du stets dir's angehört, also stets dir's angehört. It's my German accent, which roughly translates to because you listen to it, so it now belongs to you. And I just thought that was beautiful in terms of just like dedicating it to her because she listened like as it was being written and was there for him throughout the whole process. And also just as a reader, like because I listen or read something, now it's a part of me. It doesn't matter if I have the book or whatever, like there's nothing anybody can do to take that away from me. Like the book is always going to be a part of me. So I thought that was a really beautiful dedication, and I'm really enjoying this. And then the last thing I picked up was A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This is also based on a recommendation. What's this girl's name? I'm gonna go on my history. Okay, I got this recommendation from the channel Alana Estelle. She made this video, 2024 winter reading recommendations, and they were like all classics, and she read little quotes from them. The quote she read from this, literally the opening quote, one of the most famous lines ever. It just like sold me on it, and the way she was describing it, I was like, ooh, that sounds so cozy and wintry to read. So maybe we'll be starting my first Charles Dickens novel. Book the first, Recalled to Life. The iconic beginning. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was a season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. I ended up picking up this copy because it had this really cool timeline in the beginning of things that were going on at this period when he published it, and it had extensive footnotes in the back, like a lot of footnotes. And the other copies, one of them did have footnotes, but it didn't have this timeline, and one of them had a timeline, but it wasn't as interesting as this timeline is. So that's the copy I got. That's all of the library books that I picked up. I just like having options, and I love going to the library and just taking home a bunch of books. So that's what we have. Now I'm gonna listen to Orbital and do some journaling. So I just finished Orbital. The ending It was okay. So my thoughts about that book, I really loved all of the parts when we were actually focusing on the characters and like the interactions between the astronauts and the cosmonauts with each other and their families back home. But I would say it was equal parts like those interactions and then also just like descriptions about the Earth as we're orbiting, so very detailed looks at like geography. Those I didn't really love, and it was a lot of that. It was really beautiful at first and interesting, but as we went on, you know, we orbited Earth 16 times because this novel took place over the span of one day. The scenic imagery got a little bit boring after a while, so that last like hour was majority like scenic imagery and just like interiority musings about life, which a lot of those were really good. I do think it was really beautiful, and I think I would like it even better on a reread. Maybe in a few months or a year from now, multiple years from now, I'll go back to it. Also, my phone died as I was recording, so you didn't get to see me finish the spread, but I made this series tracker and I filled out the books that I have read in all of these series based on like what color the cover is for that book. I added this little sticker at the bottom, and then I went back to my classics tracker, which I hadn't finished up making, and I finished that. I spelled classics wrong. I put 2 C's in there. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, so I did those two while finishing up Orbital. Then after I finished it, I put on The Other Merlin for a little bit. And now, I don't know if I have any other spreads that I want to make right now. I'm trying to make like a bunch of yearly spreads so that I can be ready to film my 2025 reading journal setup video soon. But I don't really know what else I want to make. Definitely need to make something to go on this page. I don't remember what I was planning to put here. Oh, I think it was a nonfiction tracker. Maybe I'll do that. Make a nonfiction tracker. I think now I'm gonna crack open my Pretty Little Liars DVD and watch an episode of that. So excited to experience this without ads. So let's do that.
Previously on Pretty Little Liars. We'll find a ring ticket that will get you there.
Hey friends, here to wrap up the vlog. My phone always dies whenever I'm filling those journal with me sections because I journal for like hours sometimes. I'll show you the spread that I finished up. This is how the nonfiction tracker came out, and that's that same German quote that I read you earlier, because you listened to it so it belongs to you. I just needed something to fill up this white space. I added some like sparkles and stuff to also fill up some more white space. So that's how those two turned out. I really like it. I did make another couple of spreads since then, but I'm not going to show you them because I'll talk about them in my 2025 reading journal setup video that'll come out probably next week. So yeah, there's the journal update. And let's just wrap up all the books that we read in this vlog. So we finished Orbital by Samantha Harvey. This was a really solid book. I enjoyed this a lot. Those little issues that I talked about in the clips before, they were all like very forgivable. I think this book was gorgeous. If you do like books about space, I think this is really good. It's a very quiet novel. It gave me a very still, serene feeling like I was floating through outer space. So I do highly recommend this. Then we had also finished We Used to Live Here. Thankfully, I'm no longer plagued by constant anxiety. The first few days after I read that book, I was like definitely super anxious. Like I said, I don't do well with horror, but better now. And I still do stand by what I said about that book being phenomenal. It's definitely the best horror, thriller, mystery book I've ever read. And I found out it's actually going to be a movie soon. There was talk about Blake Lively being in the movie, so I don't know. And then Dungeons and Drama, I did insert a little clip earlier that talked about my issues with that book, but issues aside, I did really enjoy it, and I try and give authors the benefit of the doubt, so hopefully in her next novel, the issues that I have are handled with some more care. So we did not end up finishing Conversations with Friends. Oh, also Merlin, wherever that is. Also haven't finished the other Merlin yet, but we'll definitely continue reading this. I'm going to be driving to Long Island tomorrow, so I think that book will probably get finished during that long drive because I love to put on an audiobook during a long drive. It's my favorite. And A Little History of the World. I don't think I have picked this up since I last talked to you, but definitely will be at some point because I really am liking this book a lot. So that's everything. Thank you for watching the video this long. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're reading. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to know. And I will see you guys in the next one.